Good morning, everyone. Let me pause and first take a long, brief look at all of you. Real people, real stage, real audience. It's been a while since we've done this. None of you can now stop the video or take a washroom break without me actually watching you because I can see each one of you here. Also, if I was on autopilot, I would have probably looked for an unmute button or a start video button. I would have checked myself in the mirror and all of that, but I'm not on autopilot. What if I told you that most of us right now are on autopilot? What if I told you that as a kid, you have been programmed about who you are, what you can do, and who you can be? Imagine if I told you that 1/4 of your life is already over and you just have about 3/4 of your life to prove yourself. Actually, the last 1/4 you probably would be retired, so actually you just have 2/4 of your life to prove a point. Scary, right? Imagine if as a child someone told you that you're not smart enough, or that you can't dance, or you're not intelligent enough, and you have accepted that as your reality because when it's said repeatedly, it becomes your belief. It's scary, right? It happens to all of us. It happened to me. As a kid, I was a typical shy, introvert kid, very happy in my own little world of imagination. My mom used to call me the mimosa plant. So the mimosa plant, when all alone, is thriving in all its glory, all happy and content by itself. But the minute someone takes a finger and touches it, it closes. I was exactly like that. I was very happy by myself. And the minute someone comes close for an interaction or wants to talk to me, boom, I would shut down. I was not much for small talk. I was not much for big talk either. I just did not like it. Years passed by, and soon I realized that I was tired. I was tired of being in the background, being an observer in my own life. I wanted to raise my voice. I wanted to raise my hand. I wanted to be a part of the discussion. I wanted to be a part of the scene. I wanted to make a difference. This is when I decided to start participating in my own life. I decided to undo all the programming that I had heard for all those years. She's a shy kid. She's an introvert. She doesn't like to speak much. That's just how she is. I was one of those kids who would communicate differently. I would write a lot. I would write in exams, and teachers would love me because I was the one who would be top 3 in the class. So I was the kind of kid you would love to have in front or back of the exams, and you would love to receive notes from, but not the kind of kid you'd want to introduce to your parents because you would hear things. But I was done with this dual personality. I had this deep desire to speak and perform, and I was tired of the personality that I had. And that's when I decided to undo the programming. I became a medical graduate. That's me on the graduation day with my parents. You can see I'm beaming with pride, and that smile is not because I graduated, but because I marked that as my day of liberation. I'm going to go out into the real world. I was done. So the minute I graduated, in a very Bollywood fashion, I picked up the degree and gave it to my parents and said, you have this. Now can I have 1 year of my life to just figure this out, to figure my desire, to perform, to even figure if I have the ability to complete this, to make this matter? They were gracious and they said yes, because they had seen me working really hard for those 5 years. And I'm always grateful to them for that. And literally like a frog jumping out of a well, I jumped right onto a stage theatre. Within months, I was performing at the best theatres in Mumbai and around the country. And every time I was on stage, every time I felt my voice leaving my body, I felt liberated. I felt like this was meant to be. I felt like this is my purpose. This is who I want to be. It felt so effortless. It felt like I was not even trying. And that's when it felt right. My Meraki. I continued on that path to just see what happens. What does the world have to give to me? I was excited to fail, to succeed, but on my own terms. I was responsible responsible for what's going to happen next, and I wasn't going to blame anyone for it. Soon, within months, I landed an opportunity as a TV presenter at a prime TV network. And I was interviewing the biggest Bollywood stars, to politicians, and again, that came naturally. I was having conversations with all of them, and every time someone would appreciate me that, oh, you're a natural interviewer, I would accept that programming, because that programming I wanted to be. That is who I wanted to be, and I was okay with that belief being formed. I went forward, and it was a wonderful experience. It just felt right. Red carpets, networks, international shows, it all happened. There was also acceptance from my family because they were like, how are you doing that? How is that happening? Where did you learn that? My father was asking me. And I said, I guess, Dad, when you find the right music, you know how to dance. When you find your own music. Soon, I converted this entire strategy that I used as an introvert and thrived in an extrovert business into a coaching model. And I started coaching people all around the world to become confident speakers. I recently released a book on the art and science of eternal confidence because I believe we all need confidence. You need confidence. I need confidence, and I know every day is not the same. There are days when I'm brimming with confidence and bursting at the seams, and I know I've got this day. And there are days when I'm not even sure if I've got this, if things are going to fall in place. Which is why today, at my third TED Talk, I want to share with you all the secrets of how you can form an extremely strong self-belief and build your own confidence tower to use every time you face an obstacle. I want to tell you that you don't need to find yourself. You create yourself, and you have the power. Number one, self-awareness. It is extremely important to know what your positives are. What is my skill? What am I good at? What is my good ability to do certain things? What is my purpose? What do I want to be known for? What is the kind of legacy that I want to leave behind? What do I want people to remember about me? These are extremely important questions to know and to answer for yourself. You know, marrying the right skill to your interest and your aptitude is your power. And when that happens, when you find that sweet spot of something that you absolutely love and you're even good at, is your ideal profession. So start looking for it, because that's the runway from where the flight of your dreams will take off. And how do you do that? How do you even find it? If it was so easy, I'm sure I wouldn't be giving this talk. I often recommend the closed room test. Now, what is the closed room test? Put yourself in a closed room, absolutely with no one else, no parents, no relatives, no friends. Of course, no social media, because that's where we get a lot of recommendations and voices from. And sometimes that even causes a lot of confusion about our own ambitions, and that is something we don't want. Sit with yourself, analyze your abilities, analyze what you're good at, what you love doing, what people appreciate you for, and what can you contribute uniquely as the person that you are. How do you visualize your life? Some very important hard-hitting questions which we realize and pick up very late in life, during midlife crisis. But it should be happening right early on. You should be asking these questions early on. They're hard-hitting, but they are important, and they are the ones that will set you on the right path. Find it and follow that for your life, and stand by that decision with confidence and with courage. Number two in building your own self-belief is environment. There was this amazing study about a plant, of how it was kept in a wilting environment, and it was not the most perfect environment, but its roots were great, its soil was amazing, but the plant wilted. The same plant in a few days was kept in an environment that was supportive. There was warmth, there was water, there was freshness, there was someone talking positive to it. And it was thriving. It started thriving in a few days. This is what you should be doing to yourself. Surround yourself with people who motivate you, who make you feel like you belong, that you have the ability, that even if you fail, they tell you you can succeed, who don't pull you down. Don't carry relationships that strain you, that drain you, that consume you, because we don't need that right now. We need to focus on our growth. So if you find people who care about your growth, and who give you the right advice, who criticize at the right time but also appreciate you, those are the relationships that you really need right now. Carry them on. Maybe the others you can carry later when your ideologies match, but for now, give them a break and pick and choose your environment, because that's your true self-esteem booster. Unfollow people online that discourage you or that make you feel small, and follow the people that inspire you every day. Make your environment thriving, and let me remind you that is in your hands. Moving forward to self-belief, now if I need you to walk out of this talk with only one thing, it's the fact that your belief in yourself is the most important thing you will need to make things happen. So how can we do that? I'm going to right now tell you about the biology of belief. For example, if you have, before I go into that, I want to tell you about this documentary that I was watching. You know, you have these documentaries on channels where they show a predator like a lion looking for his meal, hunting wildly. I was watching one of these, and I was very curious to see what will happen. So during the first time, the lion spots a deer and he runs behind it, and the deer runs away. So first attempt failed. In a few minutes, the lion tries again. Second attempt, third attempt, fourth attempt. He doesn't give up. At the end of 6 hours, he finally, at his 12th attempt, catches the deer. He's got his meal. He has hunted well. Now, I am curious. A lion who doesn't have the ability to self-positive talk, to self-motivate, to do all the positive psychology that we've been talking about, how did he sustain himself hungry for 6 hours to catch his meal? I want to know how he did that so that we can do it. So I dove deep into animal psychology, and I found out that animals cannot hold beliefs about themselves. Which means that after the first attempt failed, he did not say, oh, I'm a bad hunter, I'm a bad predator, maybe I don't know how to hunt, maybe I don't have the talent to hunt, maybe I should find something else to do and eat leaves. He did not do that. He went ahead because he did not look at his attempt as a failure. He kept trying till finally he hunted, because all he knew was his desire to eat and his hunger. And that is what we should pick. That is the kind of biology of belief that we should build for ourselves. And let me tell you, as humans, the most powerful secret that you will know today of how you and I build beliefs in our mind. Because once you know this, you can control how you believe things about yourself. So let's say you are an artist and you love to sketch. So during the first time, you build a sketch and it turns out really nice, and someone, your friend, appreciates you and says, that's a wonderful sketch, you're a lovely artist. So this is one biology of belief formed in your mind. This is one belief block. You again sketch after a few days and you absolutely love it. It's not like anyone told you, but you know this is good art. Another belief block has formed in your head about your sketching, about your ability as an artist. Again, you participate in one of these sketching competitions because now you're a little confident and you want to try your luck about how you perform. You do really well and you win, and people are appreciating you. Another belief block that, hey, I'm an artist. So now you have one belief block. 3 such events can form one belief block in our mind that tell us that we have what it takes. So I want you to start building such positive beliefs about the ability that you want to do. Start building evidence in your mind about the fact that you can do it. I call it the confidence Jenga. Just like you saw the 3 events, keep building such events till they form a very, very tall tower in your mind, because this is your confidence tower. This is your self-belief tower that every time inspires you, even if there's an obstacle, even if there's one failed attempt, even if you come across a roadblock, you know, because you have a strong, tall confidence tower, you know you can get over this because you've already done this in the past multiple times. So one failure shouldn't destress you. This is why building positive beliefs is extremely important. Walk out with this confidence Jenga today and think of how you can make it work for yourself. Before I end this talk, I want to share a short story with you that I was reading to my daughter the other day. Yes, I have a daughter. I created another human. I don't know why we don't talk about it as a superpower. Like my TED talk should be about, I created a human, how cool is that? Women's superpower. But we do that every day. So coming back to the story, I read the story, very special. It's about this giraffe. And the giraffe lives in a jungle. He's pretty good at standing tall and eating leaves off the tree and doing things that animals do. But what it really wanted to do was dance. But he was always worried about his really long neck, his height, his wobbly knees, and he felt very weird while dancing to this particular music that they played in the jungle dance. Now, jungle dance was a competition that happened between all the animals to pick the best dancer. And even though the giraffe didn't feel absolutely confident about the way he danced, he still wanted to go and try because he loved dancing. So the minute he reached the competition, he saw all the animals there thriving. The lion is super elegant, the peacocks are graceful, even the rhinos are doing an amazing salsa dance. So now he's really nervous. But because he loves dancing so much, he still wants to give it a try. So he gathers all the courage that he has, goes to the center of the jungle dance circle and starts dancing. And every animal there is laughing with a roar and ridiculing how ungraceful he looks while dancing. And now the giraffe is really sad and disappointed and he can't stand there anymore. He starts walking back to his home. He's never felt so alone in his life. And while walking back, he has this moment where he's just standing, looks at the moon and sighs and says, I wish I could dance. And just that time, he didn't know someone's actually listening to him. There is a grasshopper sitting on a tree and he says, well, excuse me, actually when you're different, you just need a different music. And the giraffe says, really? And the grasshopper says, yes. Think of the leaves rustling and the crickets chirping, and let me also play a different tune for you. And with that, he takes out the violin and starts playing his own music. And now the giraffe takes a moment to absorb what the grasshopper said. And suddenly, he starts listening to the music because the grasshopper said everything makes music if you really want it to. And he really starts to listen and everything around is making music. And he listens to the violin and suddenly he feels his body do the most amazing thing. His knees are shaking, his neck is slightly swaying so gracefully, his tail is dancing as well. He doesn't know what's happening but it's feeling really good. So he goes with the flow and he does a somersault and he spreads his legs everywhere and he's feeling amazing and he says, I'm dancing, oh my God, can you see that? And with his voice, suddenly all the other animals in the jungle come and start watching him and they watch him and they're entranced by what they see. Oh my God, it's a miracle, they said. How are you even dancing? Where did you learn that? They ask him. And the giraffe says, he looks up. He looks up above at the grasshopper. He looks up at the grasshopper above, takes a deep breath and says, you know, we can all dance if we find the music that we love.